Woolworths boss Brad Banducci walked out of a heated television interview after the supermarket giant's pricing practices were scrutinized. During an ABC Four Corners investigation, reporter Angus Grigg put it to Mr Banducci that Rod Sims, the former head of the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission, had described Australia as having of the most concentrated supermarket industries in the world. Mr Banducci said, "That's not true," and attempted to argue that the industry was in fact an incredibly competitive market. He also pointed out that Mr Sims is retired. When Griggs asked the Woolworths head if he was impugning Mr Sims' integrity, Mr Banducci asked, "Can we take that out? Is that okay?" Grigg then said, "We're on the record. You've said it. Let's just move on." Seconds later, Mr Banducci said, "I think I'm done, guys," and walked out of the room. An astonished Grigg said, "You're walking out? Really?" as someone came up to him and said, "We'll just have a break for a sec." Mr Banducci eventually returned to continue the interview. "Let's keep going," Grigg said. Grigg later described Mr Banducci's mid-interview walkout as pretty startling. "I think it shows you really that there you have the boss of the largest supermarket chain in the country, really unwilling to face too many questions. And it shows how little scrutiny they've had over the years," he said. Four Corners also revealed on Monday night how Woolworth's biggest rival Coles has been profiting from higher prices. Despite repeatedly saying the supermarket was doing everything it could to keep grocery bills down. Leaked emails were shown, which alleged that Coles received a one-off $25,000 payment from a supplier to partially cover a price increase, but then raised the price by the full amount anyway. The price increase of around 5% that the supplier, which was not named by the ABC, sought to cover its increased costs, was allegedly initially dismissed by Coles based on customer needs and the competitive environment. The Coles representative allegedly said the price increase would cost the company hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that if they still wanted to raise the price, they would need to pay compensation to close this gap. Now, this gap is truthfully made up. There's no rhyme or logic behind it, the source who works for the multinational supplier said. Coles and Woolworths together control 65% of Australia's grocery market. Julian Hilliard, who has spent 38 years in retail, including working for both Coles and Woolworths as a buyer, said the supermarket giants rarely compete on price. "I would probably say that if you did 5 shops in Woolworths and 5 shops in Coles, you'd be a few cents difference maybe depending on the specials," he said.